contractor, I think I talk in the margin of so many of us because since we are the ones involved into executing of the whole entire project, we have so many challenges. And I think one of them is that not all clients will understand that there are fluctuations, there are inflations. So what I want to achieve as a contractor is also sometimes to become the voice of other contractors, so that once the clientele and the other consultants will be able to understand the needs and the problems faced as the contractor they are faced, we will be able to bring the construction into like a one bowl. We'll be able to serve in one platter. We'll be able to know the contractor is this way, the client is in this platform, and as well the other consultants are doing their work as well. So the main, what I want to achieve in this is to ensure at least when within maybe 5 years to come, the voice of the contractor will be heard, and there'll be equivalent, there'll be equality among ourselves, the teams. It happens, everyone has a small beginning. So I'll not tell you that I started with millions worth projects. We started with renovations. Our works were very well. And I'll tell you, through the referrals of clients who are happy, we'll be able to go far to even doing more than 500 million worth projects. So most of the works is the way you go step by step, climbing up, doing a very quality job, and through the referrals, and also winning bids through the government, then yeah, we are here. My everyday drive is coming to know that if I fail, I'm a light to several other ladies. I mentor in my own high school. I have a group of university students that I try to mentor. So it really drives me to know that I must be successful, I must be a good mirror, so that even the other people see that it's really possible for ladies to do it in construction. In construction, there are several other participants that are into the background. I'll take you back to the conception of a project, just a brief history of how a project is brought up, how it's birthed. A client will approach a particular type of team that is called the architect, and the architect will design the building, and then in the process he's supposed to employ or bring a nominated consultant called the engineer. So when the contractor comes in, you're supposed to meet the engineer into the picture. The engineer will be the structural, mechanical and electrical, and also meet the quantity survey of the project. So you come to implement whatever is already designed. So if the contractor implement whatever is designed by the engineer, then the contractor is nowhere to be blamed. So if the client went and followed the right procedures to bring all the team into one, the contractor should not be blamed, because he's doing what he's advised to do by very well equipped engineers. Yes. In a contract, there is something we call extension of time, or what the contractors want to call it EOT. EOT is applied when, for example, the contractor has consumed much time than whatever I quoted for. So with this, you have to really consider why is it that you feel you should be awarded the extension of time for you to complete the project. So in this case, you go you check, for example, why did you delay the project? Is it because of the client's changes? Is it because of his or her representations changes, maybe late nomination of the subcontractors? So with so much, maybe a compass into one, you might get quite a lump sum of time, and then you can apply to extend it. However, when you extend the time of the contract, there are other things that you extend, because for a contractor to be on site, you have to be having insurances, You have to have your machinery on site. The client as well on site, he's also paying his team or her team to bring all the services required on board on site. So yeah, I'll tell you, it's normally not a very good talk between, for example, the contractor and the client, but it is something that happens in almost all the projects that go beyond 1 year. In construction sites, for example, the sites that are very busy, for example, this one, you might get one or more injuries of your personnel, of the people that are working under you. So with that, in the initial stages of the project, the contractor is supposed to ensure that he or she has adequate insurances, just to ensure that in case of any risk, any problem, any accident, they are well catered for, because they also have people to attend to, regardless of them working under me. Safety is mandatory in my site, I'll tell you. For example, you can see everyone in your team, I had to ensure that they are well dressed. You have to have a helmet, you have to have a reflector. You also have to have with yourself safety boots, hard top safety boots. This is just a minimal way of preventing a great extent of accident if in case they occur. But I'll tell you, there are other factors like maybe applying dust nets. We have harnesses maybe to draw lines that people cannot go beyond this. If we have works that maybe we are rock bailing, we have markups so that people can be aware that where you're going there is this and this, so you can be able to prevent yourself to a particular class or level. There is something we call quality assurance. Quality assurance is supposed to be a way of checking that the materials have really gone through tests as required. I'll tell you, for example, in this site, I cannot use cement that is not approved by the engineer that has surpassed the classes that is supposed to be. So with that, when you use everything that is approved, the steel, I'll tell you, the steel I've really had to quite a hard time to source, especially when we had the inflation times, because I had to be really particular. I could not use any type of steel, but a very particular one. The same happened to cement, even the imported goods. If the supplier supplied something that was not stated, it had to go back and we start the initial processes of importation. My line of construction as a contractor, we are not limited to local clientele. We also have clients that maybe are working overseas, but they will choose to have their own clerk of works. A clerk of work is someone who can give an instruction or is the eyes of the client on site. So with that, once the client appoints a clerk of work, whether by writing and it's spoken to the contractor, then I'll tell you, we can be able now to communicate directly to her through the clerk of works or through the consultants, the architects, because they are the voice of the client. I would not necessarily call them main challenges. I would call them the challenges, because a challenge is a step to letting you to achieve the more. Because if you brace yourself that you can really do it, the challenge will really push you further. So however, it doesn't mean that as a contractor I have not encountered some of the problems or the challenges. I'll tell you, as one I told you, you'll go to meetings and you meet yourself as the only lady in those meetings, and you really have to brave yourself through to talk as the main contractor. There are such cases that you sometimes feel as if the other people don't treat you with the much as your title should be treated. But this is something that I'm learning how to grow with. And I'm also very happy because the interaction I've grown to have with the clients will prefer talking to me directly rather than even official. They'll tell me what they want, and we'll of course attend to it as immediate as possible. Construction is not for the easy. Construction is not for the soft. Construction, again, is very easy if you want it to be, because it all It all requires you to understand the contract. It all requires you to understand the construction, to understand the team you're working with. And I'll tell you as a lady, for example, if I start amongst the men and I talk to them as a contractor, it also boosts my ego as a lady. So I would want to tell them, if you want somewhere that you can really grow yourself and see a remarkable change into the society, construction is the way to go.